In 2015, 1/4 of men of working age have no job whatsoever and have done no work at all within the last 12 months. So that's 25%. So that's cataclysmic. In 1970, 2/3 of men made more than their fathers, and in 2014, it was 40%. Men are acquiring 70% of all D's and F's given in grade school. Only 20% are proficient in writing by grade 8, 24% reading. Men aren't trying. They're now less than 40% of college students. So between 2015 and 2022, men were 70% of the 1.5 million person drop in college enrollment, and that was replaced primarily by screen time, video games, and porn. Suicide increases up 25% between 2000 and 2017, and drug overdose up 250%. And the majority of babies, by the way, now are born in fatherless homes.
Hello. Andrew Tate is blowing up on social media, and for good reason. Perhaps he's been framed, I don't know what the exact justification for all of this is, but I do know he's blowing up because of it, even more so because he's right. Now, is he good for society? Not exactly. He's a symptom of what we suppress, and what we suppress does not disappear. In the end, it always manifests as a hyper-exacerbation from that suppression. You've been shaking a bottle by disenfranchising men, by belittling men, by blaming and guilting men for what their ancestors had to do in order to survive. Doing this, by saying everything is a patriarchy and we men are responsible for the suppression of women, for being destructive and whatnot, even when most men in society are good. Because if most men were not good, society would not exist. Because we subjugate and blame so very much. Leave the mental health of men in disarray. Leave them feeling underappreciated, unrewarded, regardless of their contributions, regardless of how they hold the whole infrastructure together through their contribution. Regardless of that, because we put them down, it doesn't disappear. Masculinity doesn't disappear. What is suppressed becomes the way. What you hold back only builds up. And in the end, through that suppression, you bring forth a dragon. It explodes as an exacerbation, thus a high IQ narcissist, exposing these truths through a belligerent tone, comes forward as a role model. And what does this do? This makes individuals more narcissistic. It inspires narcissism. It inspires a hyper-masculinity that deviates from balance. It's still necessary to a large degree, but the end result is a destruction that needs it to tone down. It's just cause and effect. The shaking of the bottle with the cap released. Boom. But Andrew Tate isn't a bad guy. He's just hyper-competitive. One depiction that became a role model during a time where men just feel unloved. When men feel unloved, underappreciated, the one who rises to success loving themselves simply becomes an example, a role model, the lighthouse that leads the way. With the detriment being self-aggrandizement, narcissism. We made it here together. Collaboration, competition was necessary, but it was collaboration through honest effort which forged the world before us. That's what we'll forget and need to be refined if men aren't taught to love themselves, if we do not show love to the honest contributions set forth by good, hard-working men.